Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Thursday, February the 5th, 2026, and this show begins now. We are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube, and I appreciate you joining today's awesome show. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel before you leave. On today's awesome show, I'm going to first talk about Fraud Watch. That's right. I'm going to get down to the grit, to the dirt of the teams and the fans that think that they're contenders, because there's a bunch of them that are ranked 5th to 11th, which is who I'll be focusing on. I'll tell you why. But those teams are like, are you really who we think you are, or who your fans might think you are? I'll try to make that determination. We'll look back at this weeks from now to see how I did. Next up, we'll talk about a potential NLL Super Bowl week. Why it comes up, what it is, just all of it. And finally, we'll get to our creating the narrative for week number 10. Number 11. Folks, this is week number 11. So, yeah, I did write it down wrong on the title. I will change that soon. That's interesting, actually, I said that. But yeah, it's week 11. My goodness. Shame on me. Before we get started, head over to natalkradio.us/NLL for league merchandise, like player shirts, such as Jeff Teat, Connor Fields, quite a bit of player names on there. They also have team shirts known as Fast Break, like this, and hoodies as well. All kind of great stuff. Again, natalkradio.us/NLL. Let's get to Fraud Watch right away. We're starting fresh, baby. So, here's the thing, folks. I did not look at the teams that are ranked in the top 4. It's not because I maybe they're frauds or not. It's because I think that the teams that are 2 games over 500, and again, they are Saskatchewan 7-1, Colorado 6-2, Vancouver 5-2, and Georgia at 5-3. I thought I would give the top 4 teams the benefit of the doubt. I didn't want to do that to Georgia, but I have to do it. Because then teams ranked 5th through 11, which are right now Toronto, San Diego, Las Vegas, Rochester, Ottawa, Buffalo, and Halifax. Their record ranges from 4-3 to 3-5, and then falling off the cliff is Oshawa, Philadelphia, and Calgary. Obviously, they are not included. So let's focus on the meat of the NLL standings that are scrolling at the bottom of your screen. And again, it's time for me to give you an answer on which teams I think are frauds and which are not. Starting with the 5th ranked team, Toronto Rock are 4-3. Toronto Rock have weathered the storm through 2 games, within the first 2 games without Nick Rose. Obviously, Troy Holowchuk manning the fort. Their defense has had a lot of injuries once again. They've had no Tom Schreiber. It's been the CJ Kirst and sometimes Mark Matthews show. Chris Boucher's played well in the last 2 games. But with a 4-3 record, do I think the Toronto Rock are frauds? I don't. I feel like it's not because they're high ranked, like being 5th is not even that great based on the record that they have. I just think the Toronto Rock, when they get Nick Rose back, might go on a little bit of a run. I don't like the idea of a rookie leading this team, But I think Toronto Rocks, like their roster in general, could be like they have the ability to sneak into the playoffs as a 7 or 8 seed. I would be shocked if they were the 5 or 6 or higher. I think 7 or 8 is about their sweet spot right now. And I think an early 4-3 start of the season, I feel like they could finish like 11-7 or 10-8, and they'd be a 7 or 8 seed. Like I said, I think their playoff team, like when I think of frauds, like I don't think the Rock have championship aspirations right now. Fans might think they do. Players and coaches might think they do. I don't. I just like they're rebuilding technically. So I think them making the playoffs is actually a good thing. But I think they'd be happy with that at this point, considering the fact that Nick Rose might miss 5 or 6 games. So no, I don't have Toronto on fraud watch. San Diego, 6th seed right now, also at 4-3. San Diego, I do think your team is fraudulent, but I'm feeling a little bit better. I do think the last 2 games against the Philadelphia Wings probably make, obviously in the standings, they make the Seals look great because now the Seals have 2 extra wins they wouldn't have had if we didn't have unified standings. So with that, I do want to give them credit for beating Vancouver the game before that. And what did Vancouver do since that game where San Diego pretty much punched them in the mouth? And Vancouver had to try a late comeback and fell short. But Vancouver after that rattled off 2 wins against teams that a lot of people, including myself, thought were starting to take a step. The first one was Ottawa. Then they played Rochester and kicked them. So San Diego has the flex right now of saying we're the last team to beat Vancouver. Doesn't matter, though. I still think they're frauds. But again, I'm coming around a little bit. I don't know how much stock I put into Chris O'Leary playing well yet, because I think the Wings' offense is absolutely piss poor. And the Wings were also stomping the Seals to start the first half of the first game these 2 teams played. So that also has to matter. So yes, San Diego's frauds. Number 7, the Las Vegas Desert Dogs, also holding strong with a 4-3 record. So here's my thing. I think, yes, I'm still riding my preseason talk and my early season talk that the Desert Dogs are frauds. I don't care what they've been doing. And here's the thing, folks. I know I picked Oshawa to beat them. It's not like Vegas stomped them. Vegas had to use every bit of that fourth quarter to pull off the win. Now, I give them credit for winning, but have they proved they can do anything? No. Their wins this year, at least their last 2, are Philadelphia and Oshawa. They got blasted by Saskatchewan. They were down by like 8 goals against Buffalo. Now we know what happened to Buffalo. They got stomped by Vancouver. I don't even know if Vegas is a playoff team. I'm going to stand by that. I think they might sneak in as an 8 seed. I could also see them like falling out to the 9 or 10. So yeah, based on the conversations their fans and other people try to give them, they're frauds. Yeah. Because again, the conversation there is, oh yeah, they're a playoff team. I'm not so sure. I don't even know about that at this point. Number 8 seed, the Rochester Nighthawks are also 4-3. I really hate doing this. Yes, they are. They are. As you'll see later, their biggest win of the year, I no longer care about. Because I have a take on the Buffalo Bandits pretty soon here. But I'm at the point now, Rochester, those first 2 games, man, oh my gosh, we're turning the page. They are going to be great. They even beat Buffalo to start with I said that they could beat Saskatchewan and Vancouver and Buffalo, that I think that would be a big step. I can't do it. I'm not sold. I don't even, if that happens against Buffalo, I'm basically like throwing it out the window at this point. It means nothing. Like Rochester, the one time you're better than Buffalo, or you might be, you can't beat the big dog still. Like Vancouver punched you in the jaw and wouldn't let you go. You tried to crawl out the rink and you couldn't. Now, with the Ryland Hartley thing looming, no matter what that suspension is, they're probably going to appeal it, and Hartley's going to play. And part of me is like, doesn't matter. Because I still think Vancouver might win by 3 or 4 goals. And I don't want to say that. I've got to look at reality. And that's the reality right now. I think Rochester's fraudulent. Ottawa Black Bears. They have a 4-5 record. They play the most games of any team in the league. They are 4th in goals scored per game. They're frauds. How many times does a team with Jeff Teat on it have to be talked about as him being MVP, and the Duke can't even make the playoffs? Like, are we realizing what's happening here with the Black Bears? And I thought they have looked better with Dan McRae. But now Zach Higgins is not good. The defense stinks outside of Callum Jones. They're average again, or they're above average. And I don't know at this point if they make the playoffs. I think they do, but part of me is like, those early 5 losses are going to sting you at the end of the year. I'll look at the upcoming schedule for the Ottawa Black Bears. And so they have to play Calgary this weekend, at Rochester versus Oshawa, Colorado, Calgary again. Good for them. So that gets them to 6 wins automatically to me against Calgary. At Vancouver versus Georgia versus Toronto at Halifax. I have a take. The final 4 games of the season, I think that's going to derail the Black Bears. So actually, yeah, I will say the Black Bears are frauds, and I think Ottawa misses the playoffs. I think they finish with an 8-10 record based on what I just saw on that juggernaut, and I think those final 4 games, they might go 1-3 or worse and miss the playoffs. It's unfortunate, but every year, no matter what Jeff Teat does, the Black Bears cannot get in the playoffs. And if they did, he might actually be MVP. I'm calling it now. I think they miss it after looking at that schedule. The 10th seed, which this is, by the way, folks, we are in week 11 of the National Lacrosse League. And the 10th seed right now is the Buffalo Bandits. That's really bad. And their record is 3-4. So, am I ready to write off the 3-time defending champions? Absolutely. Absolutely. Here is why. And I know people think this is clickbait and that Mike hates Buffalo. Let's see I do. Here's why. The Buffalo Bandits, Matt Vince has not been great. I know the defense has shown up sometimes, but I'm going to read you these losses. And you tell me which of them is like, okay, that's a good loss. I don't see one. At home to Halifax and Ottawa. No. At Rochester, when Rochester played twice in 24 hours. No. Getting curb stomped in Denver against the Mammoth. No. None of those are quality losses. And those are their 4 losses. It's no excuse. The Buffalo Bay, I do want to say, the fans who get in the comments and are saying, oh, look at this GM who built us a bad team. Like, that's too far. But I'm going to be honest. I think Buffalo at this point is flirting with getting tossed in the first round. I'm serious. I know we can trust Matt Vince, and believe me, I hope he gets the 7 rings. I ain't going to happen. I know we're supposed to trust Dane and Josh. Their offense is miserable. Buffalo is fraudulent. I'm saying it again. There is now a high chance in my mind Buffalo loses in the first round. And to start the year, I said they would lose in the semifinals before they got to the finals. I've now dropped it a step. I'm not convinced this is a championship team. Like, yeah, the names on paper sound great. They, in the past, despite losing games and looking not great in the regular season, they were never like this. This feels like a low we have not reached in probably 5 or 6 years. And finally, another team that only has 3 wins. They've got 5 losses. Halifax Thunderbirds. No, I don't think they're frauds. Why? Well, they went into Buffalo and won. And while I take points away for Rochester because it's like they were supposed to be way better than that, I think Halifax going in there was a big deal. Because that was before the Dawson Feed trade. That was when their penalty minutes were up. I'm telling you right now, the league does not want Halifax to get an offense. And I said about Oshawa, and unfortunately, the defense suddenly let me down for no reason. But right now, if Warren Hill keeps it up, if the defense keeps playing smart but still aggressive, Halifax will make the playoffs, and I think they're going to be okay. I don't know what that means, but we are at a point now where no one even knows if they're championship contenders. But am I now willing to buy back in and say they're a playoff team with a chance to see what happens? Yes, I am. Again, Halifax cleaned up the dirty stuff, and Warren Hill's still playing well. I believe if their offense can kind of get in tune here, they don't want to lose a bunch of games in a row here. But if they can kind of handle if they can get 2-1 or better in the next 3 games, they're feeling pretty good. Just relax, Halifax. That was an unintentional stupid rhyme, but you're welcome. When we come back to the show, what is an NLL Super Bowl week? I'll tell you. Also, I will do again my week 11 creating the narrative. I put week 10. It can be easily edited after this. Good thing I'm not on linear television because I should have been fired. We'll be right back.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Daily Dive, the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis. It is Thursday, February 5th, 2026. You're watching Daily Dive, everybody. So I do want to say, coming up this weekend, there's going to be a big NFL game. It's the Super Bowl. I believe number 60 is this one. Seattle Seahawks, New England Patriots. Drake May, his shoulder is fine. It seems like he's a full participant in practice. But, I labeled this NLL Super Bowl week. And you're like, what? What are we talking about? Well, hear me out. So, every year, the NLL in the playoffs has one game for single elimination to get out the first round, which causes so much chaos and Cinderella stories, or possibility of such. Then they do a 3-game semifinals and a 3-game NLL finals. I have a scenario where we can keep it at 1 game for the finals or 3 games or whatever by an NLL Super Bowl week. Why would this be beneficial and what would it involve? Let's talk about it. How about the fact, let's say, right now, the storylines of the NLL, my Super Bowl right now is actually my preseason NLL finals pick. The Vancouver Warriors and the Saskatchewan Rush. Let's say Buffalo's fallen off like we thought they did because they just got blasted by Colorado. So Saskatchewan comes back to the mix. They have been dominant so far, and they made the finals last year. They're trying to bounce back and win. But Vancouver comes along, and the Vancouver Warriors are finally catching their stride. Turns out they're only 6-2. Seems like their record to start the year, 5-2. They're 5-2. Was not that bad. And they seem to be as legit as we thought they might be. So I think these two might meet. But what if, to save money and to avoid travel issues, what if we did a neutral site game? And not just any neutral site game where any of the NLL barns are, because half those are not good. What if we did kind of like the Unboxed thing? And Edmonton fans, I'll do this one for you. Can you imagine if Saskatchewan and Vancouver met in Edmonton this May or June? Can you imagine? For a full week, the NLL would be there. And in that 7 days, there would, Sunday to Saturday. So on Sunday, I don't know, let's say on, maybe you do maybe it extends, whatever. Let's say you go in there on Monday, you start the festivities. Let's say Friday, you have a game, or let's say Friday you have a game, and let's say Sunday you have a game, and then if it goes to game 3, let's say you do a Monday night, whatever. I know it seems like a lot of games, which is why I'm kind of playing with the idea. But imagine if we just have a whole weekend of festivities. You had a bunch of live shows on location. You didn't have to worry about traveling. You put all your effort and resources and marketing into one barn because your finals are there. I think it'd be pretty fun, and it might be successful. Again, I know I said 3 games. You kind of have to play with the whole thing there, but I feel like there's a way this could be fun and this could work. Here's an idea. What if they fly in on Friday or Saturday? On Sunday, the first Sunday they play. On Friday, there's a game 2. And on the next Sunday, it's a game 3. How's that? I wouldn't mind that. I feel like those are maybe it's Sunday and then Friday, Saturday. Whatever it would be, I think a neutral site with game 1 dropping right in town, and then you're talking all week about the game. Friday, you have a game, and Saturday or Sunday, You finish off if it goes to game 3. That would be cool, in my opinion. That would draw eyeballs because an entire week is dedicated, just like the Super Bowl, to one series/game. And not just any series or game, the championship series/game. So I think it'd be a fun thing. I think you could have like a concert on like Friday before game 2. And again, it would save travel money. It creates a crazy opportunity for the city. Like, do something. Like, there's things I've thought about. And here's another thing. Little surprise subject for you guys. And really, this should be its own topic. I'll do it now. Imagine if another thing the NLL could do to capitalize or to be proactive. There's all this talk about summer. And can you imagine a world where the NLL, like the PLL does, has their own sixes tournaments? I don't like sixes lacrosse, full disclosure. But as LA 28 gets closer, as I've said, the PLL does it, like they try to capitalize on it. The NLL has got to be proactive. Why not sometime in July or August, the NLL does a sixes tournament somewhere? You have 3 or 4 teams in some round-robin tournaments and do your own thing. Like counterpunch what the PLL does. Like, doesn't the PLL do their thing during your season? Well, punch right back, baby. Show what you can do. And again, these are 2 separate ideas, but I feel like the NLL just, and I call it NLL Super Bowl week, I mean just championship or finals week. I feel like if we do that again at a neutral location that is like a market you want to go to, that would be an excuse to really invest in seeing if fans would show up. Like Edmonton, was there 5 or 7,000 fans? How about what if there were 15,000? Because for a week you went ballistic. I would love it. It would be so great. Pat says, love the idea of a hybrid week. Not sure about a neutral site game. How many fans would be able to see? Pat, you know what I say to that? NFL teams don't care. Like, I actually see your point on that, but part of me is like, excuse me, part of me is like, who cares? Like, you don't see Seahawks fans or Patriots fans with their pitchforks. I don't care. Who cares if Buffalo gets 19,070? Who cares? Why not? And again, there's a fun idea that just because we got all these things we try to do, they don't move the needle. I feel like this would, because it would be a major event. And again, like if the NFL doesn't care, NLL shouldn't either. I don't care where we're at in the field. I don't care how popular we think we are or not. I feel like do something that moves the needle where, and again, the Board of Governors might come into play, but like, I'm trying to get Bradford ideas where it's like, Board of Governors, why not? Like, we have the potential of an expansion team here. We're growing the game, have an entire hype week. Like, no one could say no unless they're just hard butts who don't want to grow the game. Like, why would you say no? And again, it's a weird, fun topic, but part of me is like, and again, I did think about like, what if, Buffalo? Okay, well, what if Georgia made the finals? There wouldn't be an outcry. Well, I can tell you, those fans are not, from what I've seen, they're not super loud and passionate. Yeah, certain like Denver and Vancouver and Buffalo, sure. But it comes to a certain time, you're like, who cares? Just do it. Have some fun. Do something you haven't done before. Grow the league, dang it. Or rely on Chase Fraser to do odd things. That's all I got. Or big hits from a goalie. I mean, it is what it is. Whatever we do to grow it, I'm trying to think of an idea where the NLL is like, we did that. Like, unified standings is such a waste of money. It's fun competition, but it just it destroys, like, it really like hampers teams' finances. I think a neutral site game would be no excuses. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's fun. I don't know. It probably won't ever happen, but if Mike was commissioner, whatever. We come back. Let's create the narrative for, again, week 11, even though the title says 10. We'll be right back.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening. You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
I do appreciate you tuning in to Daily Dive today on this February 5th, 2026, known as Thursday. This is the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet, which is crazy. Hopefully the first, but only is good for now. We all know the NLL has merchandise at natalkradio.us/NLL. Everyone knows you can go there and get player shirts or hoodies or cool team shirts. We all know that. But what if you what if you buy that stuff and you also go to games? Get your tickets at natalkradio.com. You know, in hindsight, and I did this on the fly, I should have said, hey, okay, let's rewind here. Everyone knows you can get event tickets at natalkradio.com or .us, right? Like, everyone knows you can go there and get your NLL tickets. Well, what if you're at the game and you have no merch? But you see, now it doesn't work. Wow. So note to self, next time we're doing tickets and then merch. Like, that would, right? Stupid. All right, now it's time for creating the narrative in the National Lacrosse League for week 11. What are fans talking about? Whether it be at the barbershop in Vancouver, hey, buddy, give me a Hitler stash. But what about this Rush game? Well, what about it? You know, he's like sniffing around, whatever. I don't know why he asked for a Hitler stash. Just thought that came to my brain. Hey, give me the fade, put a star in or put a Rush logo in my hair. This narrative time for week 11. First one, can I just say, I absolutely hate the schedule makers in week 11. Can I just say that? I don't know what groups But there's going to be multiple people working on a schedule. I know the NLL probably doesn't do as much as the NFL does because there's a lot of arena dates. I'm sure Brett Fruit would like it if the teams tell him, hey, here are our dates. Because I don't know if the NLL, I don't know what their say is in the schedule. Whoever it is destroyed us, okay? There are no games on Friday, and there are 6 on Saturday. Come on. This is almost as bad as a 3-game weekend, man. Like, my gosh. You're telling me the first 4 games, I gotta do a 4-screen multi-view? Here's me trying to figure out what's going on in Buffalo against Philadelphia. Here's me checking the Ottawa game. Like, come on, bro. Anyways, Calgary, Ottawa. Roughnecks, Black Bears. Good punching match. 7 o'clock Eastern, all times are Eastern, on Saturday. Is this a get-right game for Ottawa? I use that term get-right game a lot. Ottawa's 4-5. They are literally the only team halfway done with their season. They are at home after getting beat pretty handedly. Like, bare naked, they were slapped around by Toronto. Calgary comes to town. Calgary stinks, right? Ottawa, show us a little bit of sign of life, will you? Oshawa Firewolves, Toronto Rock, also at 7 o'clock. That's me rolling my eyes. NLL on TSN. Trillium Cup. So I wrote it down this time. Trillium is the flower of Ontario, I think. Which, oh, by the way, another thing my humble Southern self did not know. Man, y'all have flowers for your provinces? I thought that was only a United States thing. Shout out to the Georgia peach, which is obviously not our flower. It's our fruit. I just don't remember. I don't know the flower of Georgia. What is wrong with me? Okay, anyways, Trillium Cup rolls on. NLT has said, so here's the thing. If the Rock are legit, and if the Toronto Rock are a playoff team, do me a favor. Put your gloves on like this. Bam! Bam! Punch Joshua in the mouth. I'm so fed up with the Firewolves not being competitive. I am begging the Toronto Rock to take me out of my misery. Because what's going to happen is, if Oshawa finds a way to win this game, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to start drinking again. Not alcohol, but it tastes like it at this point. I'm going to start drinking. Oh, is Oshawa back this week? Toronto, I am begging you, please, for the sake of Daily Dive, only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talks on the planet, for the sake of me, the outspoken, energetic, and controversial, apparently, Michael Karvelis, Toronto, beat up Oshawa so I can live in peace and realize they stink. But God Almighty, if Oshawa wins, we are so back, baby. Woo! Next, Philadelphia Wings, Buffalo Bandits, Saturday, 7 o'clock. Also, again, you're flipping through those first 3 games, saying, whoa, wait a minute. What about the call in this game? Yeah, okay. Shout Connor Price. Who's that? Yeah, the Oshawa. It's too bad Oshawa's got a good social team, actually. Anyways, Philadelphia, Buffalo, and let's be honest here, folks. The Bandits, for the sake of their own fan base, need to crush and strangle Philadelphia. Can you imagine a world? Because I don't think anyone thinks the Wings win this game. Like, even for the sake of this narrative, I'm not even putting that in the universe. But imagine a scenario where Philadelphia hangs around and Buffalo is like, whoa, like Matt Vince is Matt Vince has to play the whole game. No. Buffalo, if you have any championship pedigree, if this is not a must win, good. It's a must blowout. You have to go and choke them out. Sorry. Hey, speaking of that, it's a good time to remind you of some products we have on this YouTube video. One of them is, you ever tried like those lollipops with gum inside of them called blow pops? There is a shirt that is like a cool retro looking shirt from 80stees.com you can get. And they have, guys, that place, they don't pay you to say this, for crying out loud. They only pay us actually if you buy a shirt, please. But like, it's 80stees.com through the link in the video. Awesome stuff. If you want to start a podcast and become the second Monday through Friday Lacrosse Talk Show, there's a Blue Yeti microphone waiting for you in the products. Oh, you want to play lacrosse? Get you a stick and then go buy the Warrior lacrosse balls and the goalie net down on the Walmart website. See, if this were your sponsor, I would read it like a book. You're welcome. Next, the final game where the East Coast people don't want to go to sleep. Georgia Swarm hosting the Las Vegas Desert Doggies. Okay. Twofold here. Number one, can and will Las Vegas start a run here? I don't know. But here's another thing. If the Swarm improve to 6-3 and they do it by beating Las Vegas, Thanksgiving came so early because Georgia will be fed all over. Like Duluth, Atlanta, Alpharetta, Conyers, Macon, Savannah, all of it. We're eating turkey. Thank you. But only if Georgia beats Vegas. As for Vegas, preseason, can we be honest? I don't think many people thought Georgia would win this game. Right now, by standings, they should. But Vegas, this could also be a state. Like, if you guys go in there and, like, low-key pull an upset, even a person like me might say, oh, okay, I'm listening. But right now, you got nothing for me. So it's interesting stuff there. 7 comments. Mike's and Oshwolf. It's so bad. It's terrible. Mike, is your Wi-Fi connected? Oh, that's a shame. Of course not. That's annoying. So I don't know like which segment I might have to redo later, which is not going to happen, obviously. But leave it to our, like, the weather is literally fine outside. And if you can hear this, please tell me. But like, what the world, man? Galaxy 3S. Wow, dude. Thank you. I can't believe it. Oh well. Finally, last 2 games. I don't like really the wife. Like really, how long were we gone? That's a shame. All right. Thank you, guys. So Saskatchewan and San Diego. Let's wrap this up quickly here. Oh, really? Hey, Trojan, I'm right here for a sponsorship. Let's wrap this up right now. You're welcome. Come on. Is there a chance for a Seals upset here? Like, I know there are other things. Oh, Saskatchewan's 8-1. Are they going to keep on stomping? No. I'm asking, is there a world, and I'm not picking this, where San Diego fools around and beats the Rush? It's on the board for me. So, yeah, I don't know if that's really a narrative thing. But, yeah. Oh, I was just fuzzy. That's good. But, yeah, I mean, the Seals, like, are the Seals good enough to pull off the upset? And I'm telling you right now, if the Rushes keep on, running through opponents like they're like they're a Hollywood I won't say that, but like if they just keep on running through opponents, I feel like why are we doing this season at this point? Just saying. Rochester, Vancouver, 10 o'clock as well. It's a shame it comes to this, but does Ryan Hartley play? That's where we're at now. Because we know he's gonna get suspended for how many ever games, hopefully just one, and it's like, whatever, man. Oh, instead of crapping on the broadcasts of the 2000s, you could have said I looked like the old NLL Lacrosse video game, because that would look good, actually. It wouldn't, but yeah. Or from WoW, Kai, unbelievable. But I mean, it is what it is, guys. It's sad that Ryan Hartley, when it comes to that, and because I don't know, even if he does play, is the game competitive? Whatever. It's a big storyline for sure, but I wish it was on the field, and there are some stuff on the field, but it's Ryan Hartley, because if Riley Hutchcraft plays, I told you guys, he has been not good this year, so we'll see. That's week 11 narrative. Again, I'm going to change the YouTube. Thank God I'm not on linear TV, and thank God I'm not getting paid. Wait, I'm not getting paid? What am I doing? I quit Dilly Dive. Hey, clip that. How's that? Wow, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching Dilly Dive. It's been a fun one. What is your thoughts on a Super Bowl type championship week of activities for the NLL on a neutral site, by the way? I don't like the idea. I just feel like it would have to work. The idea works on a neutral site, all right? And then, of course, who is fraudulent? Like, what teams are frauds to you? Comments, and also like Daily Dive LAX on the social media. Fun fact, if you were under 18 and you're in Australia, you cannot even do social media. So you have to comment on the show. But it's like, does YouTube count? I don't know. I don't know if YouTube counts. But like, and I don't even know why I brought that up. It's just something to think about, You guys should be grateful that there is an opportunity to reach out to Daily Dive LAX. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Stupid show.